Hello everyone, welcome to Dynamic Studies. So, in the crash course of management, today is day 2 and we will discuss Unit 2 of Paper Code 17 Management. These are the topics which covered Unit 2. Organization behavior, its significance and theories, individual behavior, personality, perception, values, attitude, learning, motivation, group behavior, team building, leadership, group dynamics, interpersonal behavior, and transactional analysis, organizational culture and climate, workforce diversity, cross-cultural organizational, emotions and stress management, organizational justice, whistleblowing, human resource management and its concept, perspective, influences and recent trends, human resource planning, recruitment and selection, induction training, development, job analysis, job evaluation and compensation management. So, organization behavior significance. First of all, I would like to tell you what organization behavior is. The study of human behavior in organizational settings is known as organization behavior. Or we can say organization behavior is interface between human behavior and organization. Organization behavior research is categorized in at least 3 ways. That is, individual in organizations, work group, how organization is behaving. So these 3 research groups are at different level, like individual and organization are at micro level, work group are at meso level, how organization is behaving is at macro level. Okay, now comes to the significance of organization behavior. So the significance of organization behavior are skill improvement, understanding consumer buying behavior and employee motivation, nature of employee, anticipating organizational events, efficiency and effectiveness, better environment of organization, optimum or better utilization of resources, importance of organization behavior and goodwill of organization. And there are some of other importance as well, like importance of personality on performance, employee motivation, as I already mentioned. Now come to the field which relates with organization behaviors. These are psychology, sociology, political science, social psychology, anthropology. Now, next move on to the next topic, that is organizational theories. So, the origin of management in the organized way can be traced as back as origin of human being. There are various theories like classical theory. In classical theory, basically there are three type of theories, that are bureaucracy, scientific management, process management, new classical theory, modern management theory. In modern management theory, the concept of re-engineering has been introduced. So let us discuss them one by one. In classical theory, first of all we will discuss bureaucracy. Bureaucracy is the term given by Max Weber. Please note down this term, Max Weber. He introduced the theory of bureaucracy. The main things that has been performed in this theory are concept of authority, structure of organization and interrelationships. Please note down these points: concept of authority, structure of organization, interrelationship. And then scientific management. So the scientists or authors who related with scientific management are Taylor, Frank Gilbert, Lillian Gilbert and Henry Gart. Guys, please note down this. F.W. Taylor is known as father of scientific management and Miss Lillian Gilbert is known as mother of scientific management. These type of question has been asked in UGC previously, so please note down these points. Now, in scientific management, they evolve methods and techniques and transportation, the field of management in which all work were to be done in scientific way. After that, process management was developed by Fayol. Fayol is also known as father of modern management, or he is also known as father of administrative management. These points are very important. Please note down them. After that, new classical theory. New classical theory was introduced in human relation era. It was the movement spread by Anton Mayo. He was the big contributor in new classical theory. It believes that the key to higher productivity was employee satisfaction. Other contributors in this theory are Dale Carnegie, Abraham Maslow, Douglas MacArthur. Now, modern management theory. This theory combines systems and contingency approach together. Modern management theory make organization as a system. Modern management theory suggests that there is nothing like one best way to resolve a particular problem or behavioral issue, but the way depends on situation. So this theory focus more on the situation or contingency theory. As I mentioned, this theory is combination of system and contingency approach. So, in this modern management theory, the one new concept has been introduced, that is re-engineering. Re-engineering has been introduced by Michel Hammer. The process of re-engineering begins with a clear state and a job is planned from beginning till end. So please note down the steps in re-engineering. These are mission, process, creation of sense of urgency, in definition of customer needs, organization support. So here is another term which is very important related to organization behavior, that is benchmarking. Benchmarking is the process of comparing work and services methods against the best practice and outcome for the purpose of identifying changes that will result in higher quality output. Now, note down the types of model of organization behavior as well. First one is feudal model. FW feudal model treats employee inferior, or it is based on theory X. Then autocratic model. In autocratic model, the concept manager are superior is introduced. Then custodial model. It considers that assets of organization belong to industrialist, manager, employees in equal measures and that nobody has monopoly right. And then supportive model. Supportive model believe that employees are active and with ideal environment and support, they can use their energies and skill for higher productivity of organization. After that, collegial method, collegial model. In this model, team management has been introduced. After that, human value model has been introduced. In human value model, SOBC is introduced. In SOBC, the full form of SOBC is stimulus, organism, behavior, and then consequences. Organism responses to stimulus and in particular behavior and gives a consequences. After that, contingency model. Organization behavior refers to complex variables that influence individual groups and organization structure. Let's move on to the next topic, that is individual behavior. Individual behavior, every individual behave differently. There exists cause and effect relationship in individual behavior. Individual dimensions of organization behavior are intrinsic, extrinsic rewards and compensation. Please note down these terms. These has been asked in previous question paper. Now, factor affecting individual behavior. There are basically three factors that affect the individual behavior. That is biological factors. Biological factors include age, gender, religion, marital status, and then tenure, the experience of the person. in particular organization also affect the individual behavior, or we can say seniority. And then ability of the person to behave in particular situation in particular manner is known as ability. Now let's move on to the next topic, that is personality. Influencing others through external appearance is known as personality. Basically, personality is a pattern of unique characteristics and relatively enduring traits which give individuality and consistency to an individual behavior. There are various theories related to personality. First of them is psychoanalytic theory. This is very important, based on the notion that man is motivated more by unseen forces than he is in control by conscious and rational thoughts. Major motivating force in man are unconscious. This framework contains three aspects, that is ID, ego, superego. ID is source of psychic energy. Ego is conscious and logical part of human personality. Superego is social personal norms and serving as an ethical constraint on behavior. So basically in this, ID is giving us the negative side or negative thoughts. Okay, uh, ID is leading a person in negative direction, or super ego is leading a person in super positive direction, and the ego state is the decision making state. So this question has been asked, like ID, ego, super ego, from them which state is decision making. So the answer would be ego. Then socio-psychological theory. This theory recognizes inner dependence of individual and society. After that, trait theory. This theory postulates that an individual personality is composed of definite attributes, that is trait. Trait is any distinguishable way in which individual behave different from another. There are thousands of traits that have been identified. Okay, one of them is locus of control. Locus of control is degree to which people behaves or believe that they are master of their own fate. It is the concept which determines whether an individual control events or the events control the individual, and that they become only the pawns of situation. So, the locus of control are of two kinds, that is internal locus of control or external locus of control. Locus of control is very important. Now, types of personality. First of all, the Junk's classification. Junk's classify the personality into two categories, that is extroversion and introversion. Extroversion is the extrovert person and introversion is the introvert person. Then Freud classification. Freud has classified personality into two categories, type A type of personality or type B type of personality. Type A type of personality, they always moving or walking, eating rapidly, they feel impatient with speed of events. And then type B type of personality, they never suffer from the sense of urgency and take things as it comes coolly. After that, Holland classification of personality. Holland have classified personality into 6 categories, that is realistic personality, investigative personality, artistic personality, social personality, enterprising personality, and conventional personality. So these kind of personality are relative to particular respective behavior of the person. Now, big 5 personality trait. So this is the most important topic among this personality, that is 5 personality trait. So these are openness, consciousness, extroversion, agreeableness, neuroticism, or emotional stability. Now let's move on to the next topic, that is perception. Perception is the process through which an individual organizes and interprets his sensory impression to give meaning to his environment. Okay? So this is basically the process in which a person organizes and interprets his sensory impressions. Okay. Now perception is cognitive process. Okay. Note down this point. This question has been asked. Perception is which type of process? So the answer would be cognitive process. Now factors affecting perceptual selectivity. So there are 5 major kind of factors that affect the perceptual selectivity. First one is self concept, and then belief, then inner needs, response disposition, and then expectations. Now let's move on to the next topic, that is developing perceptual skills. So we can perceptual skills can be developed by organization. So these are perceiving oneself accurately. If one perceives himself accurately, then the perception towards the other things will change or improve. Then enhancing self concept. When one analyzes or enhances the self concept, the perceptual skill will be developed. Then having positive attitude. If a person or the employee having positive attitude towards the things, then perceptual skill will be developed. Then being empathic, communicating more openly, avoiding common perceptual distortion. Now the next topic is values. Values are stable, they do not change. Types of values are introduced by Alport. Okay, so there are basically 5 type of values. That these are theoretical value, economic value, aesthetic value, social value, and political value. Okay, now next topic is attitude. Attitude is the persistent tendency to feel and behave in a favorable or unfavorable way towards some object, person, or idea. Now the components of attitude are we can understand the components of attitude by ABC model. In ABC model, A stands for affective, B stands for behavioral, C stands for cognitive. In ABC model, the person emotional reaction on or towards the attitude object is known as affective attitude. Now second one is B, behavioral attitude, that is the way one behave when exposed to an attitude object. And then cognitive, it is a description, belief in a way things are. So basically there are 3 kinds of attitude. First one is positive attitude, then negative, and then neutral. So the theories associated or the contributed to attitude formation. First one is cognitive consistency theory, balance theory, cognitive dissonance theory, and functional theory. The cognitive dissonance theory is important one. Cognitive dissonance theory said that it seeks to explain linkage between attitude and behavior. Now the next topic is learning. So learning brings relatively permanent changes in human behavior that occurs as a result of experience. There are various theories of learning. First of them is classical conditioning or behaviorist theory. Classical conditioning can be defined as the process in which formerly neutral stimulus when paired with an unconditional stimulus. Okay. The most important name of the author is Ivan Pavlov. Ivan Pavlov is a Nobel Prize winner. His experiment is very famous in learning concept, and this has been asked in exam as well. So the Pavlov carried out his experiment in 3 sequential stages. In stage 1, he presented meat unconditional stimulus to the dog. He noticed a great deal of salivation, unconditional response. And then in stage 2, He only rang up the bell, neutral stimulus, and the dog had no salivation. In stage 3, Pavlov was to accompany the offering of meat to the dog along with ringing up of bell. After doing this several times, Pavlov rang up only bell without offering of meat to the dog. This time the dog salivated to the ringing up of bell alone. Pavlov concluded that dog has become classically conditioned to salivate response to the sound of bell stimulus. Okay, so this shows the SNR connection, stimulus response connection. Now next is operant conditioning. Operant conditioning deals with response stimulus or R&S connection. Please note down this. In operant conditioning, R&S connection is established. The concept was originated by B.F. Skinner. He stated that most human behavior operates based on the environment. Operant conditioning is concerned primarily with learning as consequences of behavior or R&S. Now, cognitive theory. Cognitive approach. The theory consists of relation between environmental and expectations. He used White Rand in his physiological experiment of cognitive theory. He found that rat could run through critical path with particular intention of getting food. Okay, so Tolman established this theory. Tolman established certain choices point where expectation was established. The rat learned cognitive cue at various choice points which would raise its expectative to move forward to objective. Thus the rat turned to acquire food based on relationship of cue and reward or expectation. This theory was later applied on human resource where incentives were related to higher performance. Then social learning behavioral approach. Social learning approach is a behavioral approach. The approach basically deals with learning process based on direct observation and experiences. Okay, so here is another term that is related or very important, that is there are 4 type of reinforcement: positive, negative, punishment and extinction. So the person behave accordingly. Okay, now next topic is motivation. Motivation is inner desire of a person to do something, okay, in particular specific direction, so to attain the particular thing that he or she want. Okay, so yeah, you need to note down this thing, that performance is equal to ability multiplied by motivation. This equation has been asked in exam. Okay, so motivation basically is the process of stimulating people to action to accomplish desired goal. Okay, you just note down this also. Motivation is equal to valence or value multiplied by expectancy. These both these equation has been asked in exam. Now motivation theories. Listen, please note down all the theories. They are very important. Okay, these theories has been asked in exam. First one, Maslow theory of need hierarchy. Then motivation and hygiene two-factor theory, theory X and theory Y. ERG theory, Vroom's theory of motivation and Porter-Lawler theory. Now, Maslow's need hierarchy theory. Maslow suggests that every individual has complex set of needs at any particular moment and his behavior is determined by existence of strongest need. Okay, so basic needs, he has designed the basic needs of human in 5 different categories or 5 different hierarchy. First one is physiological needs. As per Maslow, physiological needs is strongest in every human being and hence it has highest strength as compared to other needs. Then second one is safety needs or security need. Once the physiological needs of an individual is satisfied, the safety needs, security needs arises and it dominant at that point of the time. Next one is social need. Once the safety needs is satisfied, third need, that is social need, arises. People want to belong to some social group where their emotions, need of love, affection, warmth, friendship are satisfied. Esteem need or ego need. Fourth need is ego need. Ego need, individual wants self recognition, appreciation for the work done. So this is ego need. Then self actualization need. This is last need in need of hierarchy. Once esteem need is satisfied, their appearance and self actualization is craving for something supreme one wants to achieve in life. And next theory is Heisenberg motivation hygiene theory. So this is also known as two-factor theory. According to Frederick Heisenberg and his association, the two main factors are dominating the character of a person. These are motivational factor and maintenance factor. Motivational factors is a set of job conditions which operate primarily to build strong motivation and job satisfaction. These are achievement, advancement, possibility of growth, recognition, work itself, responsibility. And then maintenance factor. Maintenance factors are like salary, job security, personal life, working condition, status. Okay, now next theory. This theory is very important. This has been asked in exams several times. McGregor theory of X and theory Y. So Douglas McGregor is introduced theory X, theory Y, which is diagonally opposite to each other. He is aware that human beings are rational in their thoughts processes. They are social by nature. So in theory X is traditional theory of human being. He assumed that with respect to managerial actions, management is responsible for organizing various elements of enterprise like money, material, equipment, people. With respect to people, it is the process of directing people, their efforts, motivating them, controlling their actions, modifying their behavior so that they fit in the organization. So in theory X assumes that people would be passive. Therefore, management must pursue rewards and punishment the worker to achieve desired behavior of worker. Now, theory Y. Expenditure of physical and mental efforts on a group of employee is neutral as play or rest. The average human being does not inherently dislike work. Okay, so these are more they are more active than theory X. Now ERG, theory of motivation. So the full form of ERG is existence need, relatedness and growth. So at Yale University they have developed the ERG theory of motivation. Existence, they are related to provide of basic material requirement of human being. And relatedness, this need related to desire of individual to maintain sound interrelations. Now growth is intrinsic desire of person development. It is related to intrinsic component of esteem. Now last one is Vroom expectancy theory. Vroom has propagated expectancy theory based on employees' expectancy. He believed that employee is motivated to expert high level of efforts when he believes that efforts will lead to good performance and therefore organization reward that will satisfy achievement of personal goal. The focus of this theory is on three elements: efforts, performance and reward. Now the another theory is Porter and Lawler model of motivation. So this is multivariate model which explains relationship that exists between job attitude and job performance. This model is based on 4 assumptions of human behavior as under: individual behavior is determined by combination of factors that exist in individual and are present in environment. Individual are considered to be